Hey everybody, this is A7X Fan Ben, and this is Pirates with Ben blog number 54. So just a quick word about why you may be wondering why I don't edit my videos. You might notice there's not cuts and whatnot. So the main reason is to save time. So I already have a lot of other things that I have to do. So to spend time editing Pirates videos is not really something I can afford to do. And also, if I edit videos, then I can't record nearly as much. So for example, if I edited certain videos, then other videos wouldn't even exist. So not to go with quantity over quality all the time, but I just feel like the edits and like adding like frills and random things to my Pirates videos is mostly unnecessary. I might do it more in the future, and I do look forward to doing more campaign game retrospective type videos like the epic videos that I've made. You may have seen the Vassal Campaign Game 1, 2, and 3 retrospectives, or the CG4 hype video. I enjoyed making those, and I want to make more. Right now, I just don't have time. So, anyway, and then the podcast is up. Podcast number 27 was recorded last night, and it's on Shout Engine, YouTube, archive.org, iTunes, and all the sites that it's usually on. So I actually edited my post on miniature trading because it said like we're going live on YouTube, which we did. We were live on this YouTube channel, which is nice, with Xerix as a guest on the episode. But I just edited the post of miniature trading, so if you haven't seen it yet, that's part of the reason why, because I felt like I didn't need to make another post because it was just a few hours later. So anyway, so the podcast is up. Number 27, number 28 will hopefully be part 2 of the Fire and Steel set review, so that'll be good once we can get Vendari back on to finish that up. And my battle reports, I'm reposting old battle reports on pirateswithben.com. As you may already know, I'm doing it once every Friday, and I'm just going to highlight this one specifically because I'm trying not to give spoilers that you can see, but basically the first time I played a five fleet 500 point game was a regular game before I did the deathmatch version later on, and it was one of the better games I've ever played. So there were about 2,500 total points in play. It was an amazing game, and I just posted today the final battle report of that game on pirateswithben.com, so you can go there to see it, or you can go to Pojo, of course, which is where the original battle reports thread is located, where it all began for me in terms of writing battle reports, basically 7 years ago. So anyway, so that's a little update on that. So getting into the features, I think there's at least one thing I forgot to mention, but hopefully I'll remember it. So the features, deal of the day is a lot of 50 plus ships, and they're all commons and uncommon, and a lot of them aren't that good, to be honest, but I'm highlighting this as the deal of the day because it's ending soon. It's an auction, free shipping, and you're getting good quantity, so over 50 ships apparently, and you could count them, of course, if you wanted to, and it's just a good deal in terms of like bang for your buck. So if you're a collector and you're just getting started, or if you're a player and you just want to get a lot of ships for a reasonably low price, I mean, it does have a bid, so who knows, it could go up, it could hit 30 or something. I don't really think it will, but anyway, so it's ending quite soon, so just keep that in mind as the deal of the day. You can find a link in the description, of course, to eBay. And I just remembered what I was going to say. So along the lines of not editing videos is part of the reason for that is also so I can record other videos. So for example, I kind of have like think of it as like not daily, but like a weekly Pirates video time budget. So if I only have like 2 to 3 hours per week to record Pirates videos, or just do video stuff in general, I'd want to do that. I'd want to record as much as possible rather than, trying to do one thing and then editing it for 2 hours to make it like slightly better. So that's part of the reason for that as well. And then finally, the last point that I just remembered as well is that with the vlogs, I like to upload them pretty much right after I record them. So that's what I'm going to do with this one as well. So right now it's 2:51 p.m. Eastern Time, July 13th. So I'm going to be uploading this. Hopefully it will be on YouTube by around 3:30. So for example, with editing, I use HitFilm Express, the free version, to edit, and I can put a link to that if you want to check it out. I've looked at other video editing programs and they're either not free when they claim to be, or they didn't have the features I needed, or something went wrong with them. So HitFilm Express has worked pretty well for me in general, although it didn't really work before I got a solid state drive to replace my hard drive. So once I got an SSD, my computer was faster and just performed better. So if you have a cheaper laptop, or if you don't have a SSD, I wouldn't necessarily recommend HitFilm Express. But what I'm getting at is that even with the SSD, when I edit a video with HitFilm Express, which is the editor I use, and again, there were no other ones that I could find that were even decent or usable or free for what I needed, which is basically just splicing together audio and or video and or picture clips. So it's really basic. I hardly do anything with the editing. But that being said, once I have an edited file and I have like the final video file ready to go, it takes a long time to export it. So sometimes like a short video with not that many edits could take like multiple hours. And a few times it's taken like 8 to 12 hours to like, I don't know if it's rendering or whatever it is, to like export the video file. So in that case, the vlog wouldn't even be up until the next day, for example. And it adds a ton of time, and it's just a big headache. So that's part of the reason I'm not going to edit things for the most part as well. So anyway, I'll try to continue here. So game piece of the day, card of the day, 1 through 14 for the set number 10, which is Caribbean, 11, 12, 13. Yep, I always have to remind myself. So set number 10, Pirates of the Caribbean, which is a fun set. Especially if you like the movies. Only has the pirates in English though, remember. So depending on your favorite faction, it might not be the best set to collect. 196 is not a game piece. 255, 198. Number 3, oh boy. So HMS Endeavour is the third ship in the Caribbean set, and this is one of the best gunships in the game. So 21 points for an English 5 master. It's rare. 4 cargo spaces, L move, all 5 cannons are 2L, so the best guns money can buy, basically. And the ship eliminates 2 masts with 1 hit. So a devastating offensive ability, one of the best in the game, probably the best. And therefore, that makes this ship one of the best gunships in the game, and one of the better ships in general, really. So the firepower is about as good as it gets. It's on par with a 10 master, because if you hit with all 5 cannons, you could eliminate 5 masts in one action, basically. So with captain, helmsman, and then some kind of extra action generator, you could theoretically eliminate, 20 masts in a turn, especially if you get a world hater. That's one of the crew I would recommend. Admiral James Norrington, for example. He's an English captain and world hater combo crew. So then you'd have basically, essentially 5 1L cannons that eliminate 2 masts with 1 hit. So then 2s hit and only 1s miss. So really devastating. This one is pretty famous already because of the movies. So at World's End, it was Lord Cutler Beckett's flagship, and it's also one of the best ships in Pirates CSG, which is cool. I will say they totally messed up the artwork really badly. It's supposed to look like basically a beautiful Royal Navy 3-decker from the Age of Sail, very similar to HMS Victory actually, but they botched it, and it looks like some kind of bizarre, like heavy frigate that's been like captured by the curse. So the artwork gets, I would say, a 0 out of 10. If we're gonna be honest here, I don't know what they were doing. Some kind of really bad mistake on WizKid's part there, but the ship is amazing and holds up to the standard that I would expect from 3-deckers in the Age of Sail. So one of the best gunships in the game. It's on par with El Acorazado and the Constitution for title of like best 1 versus 1 gunship. You might think that would be a 10 master, but they're surprisingly not effective enough for their cost, and none of them have quite enough firepower to match those 3 ships in general, those 3 5 masters. So I actually pitted HMS Endeavour against El Acorazado in games a while back, and the Endeavour won a couple more games than the Acorazado did, but it was flawed because the Acorazado lost all 3 games when she had a shipwright aboard, because that strategy doesn't work that well, and I just wanted to try it out. So realistically, the Acorazado is probably a tiny bit better, but they're very evenly matched with their opposite abilities. So the Endeavour, I would recommend Captain Helmsman, but the ship is so good that I would recommend actually going pretty crazy on crew. The English have a SAT crew, Mercer, for 3 points. They don't have a regular SAT captain, but that's alright. Just getting one SAT crew is really good for the English. And Mercer is from the same set, actually. He's a minor character in the movies. And a World Hater is a great crew. Just in general, same action twice, like Sir Christopher Ming's, same action twice with a reroll crew to try to get extra actions. That's a great strategy. There's other good abilities in crew to use with a ship like this too, because it's going to be an offensive juggernaut either way, and pretty much the best firepower in the game, especially for any ships under 10 masts, basically. So, and this can go up against 10 masters in some ways. In terms of beating it to counteract it, it's worth mentioning that the L immunity ability is quite good. So the Jarvis has an ability that says L range cannons cannot hit the ship, and mostly that's on smaller ships. But the Jarvis is a 3-masted American schooner, and it's also a pretty good ship. And there's some other solid ships with that ability as well, the L immunity. So that's one way to try to beat the Endeavor. You might want to cancel her offensive ability or her captain, but just keep in mind all the 2L guns are L range, so they might be able to get around a canceller. But overall, you'd have to come at it with, similar firepower, similar amount of points opposing it, and maybe an L immunity. You could try like fire pot specialist, stuff like that, or defensive abilities or a 10 master. Either way, you're gonna be spending a lot of points to counter it. So game piece rating out of 10, I would probably say 9.8. I want to say 9.5, but really it should be higher. I think this should be more expensive. Most people agree that the Endeavor is kind of OP or overpowered. So in general, there's not really weaknesses. I mean, most 5-masters don't have base moves faster than L anyway, so I wouldn't say that's really a huge weakness. I mean, that's kind of what you get with 5-masters a lot of the time, at least. And if it was S+S, it would just be even more ridiculous. So, and the cargo is not huge, but it's good enough. It's just high enough to put a lot of good crew aboard. And the English have a bunch of very good named crew with 2 abilities for the same cargo space, like named crew with 2 abilities. So about a 9.8. Maybe deduct a 10th of a point for the artwork, I guess, which is kind of unfair because doesn't affect gameplay, but it's just pretty silly. So it's making this blog episode longer, but that's what happens. And that's what happened with the high pang too. So sometimes I kind of want to expedite the blog, but card of the day, high pang Endeavor, you could just talk for hours. So anyway, especially if I went into battle reports. So picture of the day, I've got a couple actually. So this is not my picture. This is an artwork I found online on Google, and it's for a custom crew I made yesterday called Ulima. So this is a female custom cursed crew, and she's uncommon, 7 points. She's hostile to the big 4 imperial factions, which are England, France, Spain, and the Dutch, which are a custom historical faction. I kind of continued. I wasn't the first to think of it, to say the least, but I made a lot of Dutch stuff for Pirates of the Age of Sail, which is my historical custom set. This is my fantasy custom set, which actually doesn't include the Dutch, but anyway, kind of thinking about how the worlds could collide or combine between my 2 sets. And then she also has the extra action ability, just like Admiral Morgan or Alarico Castro from Barbary Coast. And then +1 to cannon rolls against forts with an S. Jade Rebellion crew can use their abilities on the ship. And then I did some links. I'm doing some retroactive links to previous ships. So for example, I created some named crew today that might link to ships I created in February in my custom set. And the opposite might actually happen. I think I made a ship today that's going to link to crew that already existed, at least in name form, if it didn't have stats. So I guess my question, though, part of the reason I'm picking this as a picture, just to change it up, but also kind of wondering what you think the cost of this crew would be. So extra action is 5. It's definitely worth 5. +1 to cannon rolls against forts with an S. I put that at 1 or 2. Definitely no more than 2. And then Jade Rebellion crew can use their abilities on the ship. That's very niche and not really that great. So I would say about 1. Because the crew of any nationality is 3, which is, I think, the right cost. So 1, limiting it to 1 minor faction, I think 2 is too high. so 1 for that as well. That would be 7. And then, given the hostilities to 4 factions, you could maybe deduct a point for that, but given that +1 to counter the rules against Forts with an S and Jade Rebellion crew, those could combined maybe be 3 points. So I did 7 for now. So let me know if you agree with the cost, and you can post in the custom ships thread too. I'm making more customs. I made some today that I'm going to add to the spreadsheet, and I'll put a link to the spreadsheet in the description below. And second picture of the day is also not mine. So this is at the Facebook group, which has been blowing up lately. If you're there, you've seen a lot of the posts and comments, which is great. It's very active. So somebody actually made some custom islands and terrain that they finished up recently. So you can see these nice islands. I'm not sure if they're entering OTC3, but hopefully. And then some nice icebergs too, which remind me of Ross's icebergs, Ross and AZ. So some nice pictures of the day, definitely. Some artwork, and then some other islands and terrain. So if you want me to feature a picture of yours on the blog, maybe I could do that. But anyway, I don't think I'm going to vlog a ton going forward, as I've already talked about. This is the 3rd one of this week, so I like that. That seems pretty decent for me, and or to me, I guess. Let me know how much you want me to vlog and how much you want me to make videos. I won't do another vlog until at least next Monday at the earliest, at least I'm pretty sure. And one final thing is that in terms of that kind of weekly budget for Pirates, recording Pirates videos, the vlog is it gets a little bit weird because the vlog can almost replace other videos I would have done. So if I didn't do this right now, I would have done another episode of the series, like advantages and disadvantages of ship types, or maybe how to get the most out of the pirate faction, for example, or, there's a ton of other videos I want to make too. So that's part of the reason I'm cutting the vlog back a bit, but it's also kind of maybe the question of the day would be how much you think I should record other videos, because I still want to do that as well, and I don't really have much of a backlog of videos at this point. I did record the Viking collection review series videos, but I'm probably not gonna release those until next month because I don't want to saturate the channel with too much of those videos at the same time, because I just released the Jade ones recently. So the question would be, would you rather have 3 vlogs a week and then like 1 or 2 other videos, or I could cut the vlog back more. I have no problem doing that, and then recording, more purpose-driven content of specific topics, such as, advantages and disadvantages of 4-masted galleys or something, and how to get the most out of each faction, because those are 2 playlists that I'd prefer to keep going. We'll see if people like them or not, but, and then there's a lot of other videos. So I guess, would you prefer more vlogs and a little bit less other content of specific topics for videos, or the opposite, which is maybe what I would prefer, but I like the vlog too. So either way, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the custom crew. Check out the deal of the day. Check out the battle reports on Pirates with Ben. Links in the description below. And leave a like if you enjoyed the video, got value out of it. Let me know what I can do to provide more value to you as a Pirates fan, and subscribe if you want to see more. So thanks for watching.